Hey everybody, what's going on? Sorry, a little rusty here. It's been a little while since I've done this, but it's back. Another Let's Talk Jurassic finally here, back on YouTube after I feel like we were gone for a little while, as far as these live streams are concerned. So it's nice to be back. I've been like a little sick recently, so it's nice to almost be over it. I'm still kind of still kind of dealing with it, as you can tell. And we had a few weeks off with the podcast. Like I said, I've been sick. The holidays have been here. It's been crazy. So we're finally back. We're doing it now. We got two recent episodes up on the podcast. I don't know if you heard those ones, but they were pretty good. The holiday special was awesome. We were selling some Christmas cassettes featuring all kinds of Jurassic Park songs. I think I put that up here on YouTube. If not, go check that out. It was awesome. And then last episode was the Jurassic Wire for December. So we were talking all about the most recent news and everything like that. It's been pretty crazy here. I think in December it's been pretty crazy. So today we're going to be talking about 2020. So Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope you've all had a great holiday season and a great new year. We're going to be talking about 2020, what to expect for Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, whatever it may be. We're going to be talking all about what to expect this year from the Jurassic franchise. What kind of things are you looking forward to? What kind of things do you hope happen this year, because there's certainly surprises that develop, over the course of the year. So what kind of things are you most looking forward to? And what do you just hope happens in terms of I don't know, things getting fixed or, things that you don't expect. I don't know. I'm interested to know what you guys think. So as this is going on, I want you guys to go ahead and let me know in the comments. I will try to get through them as much as I can tonight. So let me know. What do you think? I'm reading them now, Ryan. Thanks, man. Really appreciating it. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think for 2020. We're going to be talking all about some stuff. They actually put up an article on our website today about all the things that I kind of wrote down. I talked about it a little bit on a recent episode, but yeah, we're going to be talking about all kinds of interesting stuff. So why don't we go ahead and just dive into it, because this is all we have for tonight. So let me bring up my slideshow here. That's not it. Where is it? There it is. All right. So transitioning it over here. So in 2020, what are our hopes and expectations? So let's move on here. So first off, we know Jurassic World 3 is going to be starting production next month. So this is, obviously the first day of January. So it's going to be starting to film in February. So we have a lot to look forward to from February till probably August. I think that should be about the amount of time that Jurassic World 3 is filming. So yeah, there's going to be a lot to look forward to, I think, during that period. So if you guys have any thoughts on the production, comment below or on the side, and I'll get through those as much as I can. But yeah, I think the production should be hopefully good, because last time around they gave us quite a bit of stuff. There was a lot of behind the scenes photos. There was even I think it was just before the trailer hit, there was a nice little featurette all about the behind the scenes. And when you look back at the featurette for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, there's a lot of spoilery things, I think, in there. You can really look at that featurette and then look at Fallen Kingdom and be like, oh my God, they really spoiled a lot of stuff there. So and that was later in the game, though. That was I don't even know when that was, but that was pretty late in the game. But I think just in terms of the production, whether it's behind the scenes photos, people kind of going out to the sets and stuff, there's always leaked photographs and stuff like that. So that's interesting to dive into, because I go back and forth with leaks. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. But I think in terms of the leaks and stuff like that for the production, you guys got to at least be cool, this time around. It was pretty it's been pretty out of control, I think, for the sorry, I'm adjusting my glasses here. It's pretty out of control for like the last two films, and I feel like especially Fallen Kingdom, people are just posting spoilery set pictures like all over social media way before people are prepared to see this stuff, because it's like months and months in advance, and you're seeing stuff that you didn't expect. So be cool about that. If you go out to wherever they're shooting, we know that they're going to be shooting in Malta, in a European island country out there. I don't know what they're going to be shooting out there. We do know that they're going to be shooting in Vancouver. Now that's probably there's a lot of studios out there, but there's also a nice wooded area. So for Battle at Big Rock, they went all the way out to Ireland for some odd reason to shoot Battle at Big Rock, which takes place in California. So they just found, I guess, a nice place in Ireland that was very wooded and it looked like redwoods a little bit. So they filmed out there. So, they could shoot all over the place. And I think out in Vancouver, there's a lot of like television production and stuff like that shoots out there. So, one of my favorites, Supernatural. I love that show. And I think they definitely do all of their shooting out there. And that's a very woodsy show. So I'm kind of thinking along those lines. Maybe we'll see some of the breakout stuff over in California. Maybe that'll be filmed out there. We're also going back to Hawaii. That's pretty crazy. So what do we think's going to happen there? I don't know, but that's going to be interesting because that's kind of hard to cover, as far as filming goes. There's always people like Real News Hawaii. They're always out there taking pictures, and other people. The production in Hawaii is usually out in the open. So it's like kind of hard to cover it so people don't really know what's going on. But I'm really interested to see what's going on out there, because if they're filming in Hawaii, does that mean we're going back to the island? Are we going back to Sorna? Are we going to a sanctuary island that we were teased in Fallen Kingdom? Does it even exist? I don't know. And I think the production title, which we talked a lot about the production title for Fallen Kingdom. I'm sorry. Jurassic World 3. I don't know what the title is. We talked all about that production title, which is entitled Arcadia. And that could mean a lot for this sequel, I think. So Arcadia was the ship that was in Fallen Kingdom that transported all the dinosaurs to California. But it also, if you look up the definition of Arcadia, it's a natural, like, unspoiled wilderness. So that really sounds like it's either, these dinosaurs maybe find some unspoiled wilderness, in the States here or somewhere around the world, or that sanctuary island is legit and, they're actually going back to that sanctuary island, maybe even with that ship. Maybe they need that ship. Now, don't get me wrong, the production title doesn't necessarily have to have anything to do with it, with the movie, but in the past, the production titles for Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, they really, really did tie into the movie. If you talk about Ebb Tide, that really translates well to speaking about the Mosasaurus. And the Mosasaurus was a huge part of that movie. It was a pretty big part of that movie. And then for Fallen Kingdom, it was Ancient Futures. Sorry, still got like a little cold, so I cannot really say things like ancient. Sounds really dumb at least in my head. Am I like getting hit? Oh no, I'm in front of it. Cool. What was I saying? Ancient Futures. So that does actually fall in line with Fallen Kingdom, because if you think of ancient, you're like, okay, well, dinosaurs, right? Futures is something that is like a financial term, talking about like the buying and selling of something. Sometimes you don't even know like who the transactions between and stuff. So that ties in perfectly to Fallen Kingdom, the buying and selling of dinosaurs. So if we're talking about the production title here for Jurassic World 3, we have Arcadia, and that's a big deal, I think. I think that's a big deal. We're talking about natural, unspoiled wilderness, my nose, or or literal, and it's talking about the ship from Fallen Kingdom. So I'm very excited to see what happens with that production title, how it ties in here. But keep your eyes out for that Hawaii stuff, because that'll be very telling, I think, as far as the production's concerned. Like, what are they filming out there? That's going to be really interesting. So for 2020, this, like I said, this production's going to go well into the middle of the year. So there's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Hopefully some videos. Hopefully they're like really big on it this time around. I know there was some silly photos and stuff last time, but I hope there's some real good meaty stuff that we can kind of latch on to. And honestly, I don't know when the big three are starting their production. I think Sam Neill said something about April, if I remember correctly. So if that's the case, if it's April, I hope we at least get like a good set photo of the three of them. I really want to see the three of them like together, or the full cast. I want to see like a set or what do you call it, a table read or something like that. When The Force Awakens started their table read, it was so amazing to see all the cast of that movie sitting next to each other in this like overhead shot, and kind of looked like a warehouse with like chairs all around, and just to speculate as to why everybody was sitting next to that specific person. Ryan, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but I'm sure you were speculating the same thing. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm excited for as far as the production's concerned. Let me hey Rice and Nelson, man, thanks for the super chat there. That's awesome. Really appreciate that. Sending over that money. That's awesome, dude. Did you say anything? Let me see. Let me go back. Okay, well, definitely hiding that comment. So peace out. Going back up here. So Ryan asks about the Jurassic World 3 title release. When will it happen? We'll get to that in a little bit. I have a nice little thing queued up for that. Ian here says, my question is, will Rexy die? I'll skip over the rest of that. But I don't know, man. I've been saying that since at least Fallen Kingdom. Or I think I was probably saying it back during Jurassic World, but I don't know, man. I don't know if you saw those motion comics that were out the other day. And one of them, they were trying to take down the Rex at the zoo that we saw at the end of Fallen Kingdom. And it looked like they were using like a concrete slab hanging below a helicopter. And I was like, what is happening here? I don't know. And they couldn't take it out with this concrete slab or whatever it was. I don't know. But if that's their attack approach, I think that Rex is going to be fine. So I don't know, man. And Jurassic Dave says the first cast photo. Yep, there we go. Of the legacy characters. Yeah, the legacy characters. That's exactly what I'm saying. I am very excited to see what comes from that legacy photo. Honestly, I want that T-Rex leg, and I want them like sitting on the ground in these awkward poses right next to that T-Rex leg. That's exactly what I want. All right, let's see here. Anybody else? I'm skipping over some of this. Ian also mentions Camp Cretaceous. We'll be talking about that as well. Ryan is excited about Emily and what she brings for the story. Yeah, man, me too. And that's really weird that you say that. Hopefully she's on set a lot. That's really weird because, like, literally today, I was thinking about her on set. And I don't know why. I was thinking about Emily Carmichael on the set of the movie and not really much else. I mean, that's kind of strange that I thought about that in the first place. But the fact that you just brought that up is very strange. So I appreciate that. And Laura Dern to find Baby Yoda at more basketball games. That was... Excuse me. Oh, my gosh. I said I was sick, right? That was hilarious when Laura Dern was talking about Baby Yoda. That was like she had no clue what was going on. That was so funny. Um, all right, let's see here. All right, so let's move on to the next one here, because you guys are mentioning a lot about the story and stuff like that. I don't think I'm gonna get too much into the story tonight, um, even though I kind of was, I guess, with the production title and stuff like that. But as far as the story is concerned, I'm not gonna get into it too much because we usually do that a lot. And I don't really know. I honestly have no clue what's going to happen with the story in Jurassic World 3. But, you're feel free to mention it below. But let's move on here to our next one. So that was at least the production. We have a lot to look forward to from about February to August. So get pumped. There's going to be a lot of stuff out there. So next up here, if I can get this moving. Come on. Where's the slide? Go. Move. Okay, of course, it doesn't want to move now at all. Awesome. All right, here we go. All right, so the title. So I don't know how much I want to say or I have to say about this, but I am excited to finally get the title of Jurassic World 3. And I say finally, like I've been waiting like years. But I mean, like I've been waiting year for that title. So, what do we think it's gonna be, guys? Do we think? I mean, Jurassic World is definitely in the title, right? It's Jurassic World, then Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I think it. I think they're gonna stay in line with this new series, and it's gonna be called Jurassic World blank, whatever the title will be, and we should be able to find out at least in June. I think, like I said, this production is kind of in the same timeline as Fallen Kingdom. Both of them started in February. And like I said, this should end around July or August. And, if you're following that format, then the title, came in June 2017 for Fallen Kingdom. So Jurassic World 3 title should hopefully be available this June. I think it was late June for Fallen Kingdom. So if you guys have ideas for the title, let me know. I'm excited to know what you guys think. But like at this point, it's kind of impossible to tell what the title will be, because we have zero idea about the plot. Now, once that production kicks up, maybe there will be some ideas as to what it could be. Oh, well, I've been just talking to Siri this whole time. So that's cool. But yeah, once the production ramps up, we should at least have an idea, maybe, depending on what we see from the production, behind the scenes kind of stuff. But let's think. So, like I mentioned, the production title is Arcadia, and I think it's hinting at the unspoiled territory. If that's another island, cool. If it's on the state side here, cool. But if I'm gonna take a guess, I really think it should be. It's so hard. Because I don't want to put like a lot of weight behind this. I really don't like speculating too much on stuff like this. But if I was just to take a random guess, I would say Jurassic World Sanctuary. I mean, that's kind of boring. Ugh, that's boring, isn't it? Is it boring? Jurassic World Sanctuary. No, yeah, it's kind of boring. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like that's where they're going to go. I feel like they're going to take these dinosaurs somewhere safe, or they're going to try to get some safety behind this whole situation. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe that's my best guess for now, is like something Sanctuary or Sanctuary Island even. Like, is that just dumb? Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of like long titles. I don't know. I love The Lost World. I think that's a great spin on that title, The Lost World Jurassic Park. The original trilogy is just a mess as far as titles are concerned, but I think there will be some synergy here for Fallen Kingdom, or the Jurassic World trilogy. So I know you guys have been writing a bunch of stuff here. All right, so Sling Spring says extinction. Yeah, I mean it's certainly plausible. Look, extinction is certainly plausible. Um, you know, we did the audio drama on our show. Arjun Boss, produced that whole thing, and Jurassic Ryan, you're killing me here, cracking up at all your comments. He titled that Extinction Level Jurassic Park. That's a very cool title for the audio drama on our show. So I think Extinction is a great one. Everybody's kind of had that idea for a long time. It just depends on what the story is. Does Extinction make sense to the story? So Heather also mentions Extinction as well. Jurassic Dave says Jurassic World: Revenge of the Raptors. Very cool. I like it. Jurassic Dave again says Final Chaos. Honestly, like Chaos, I don't know. Is Chaos a cool one? Like if you just titled it Jurassic World Chaos, I don't know. Like it is it's like naming a child, right? Like when you're trying to name a kid, it's like is this going to work? Is this name going to work? And then, when you actually have the kid and you say it and you're like, okay, this works, right? But like this is the same thing, I think. The same level of weight. Like this movie's going to carry this title for the rest of its life. So once Fallen Kingdom came out, it's like, okay, I get it. It sounds cool. Very cool. But maybe if I had said that ahead of time, I would have been like, this is so dumb. But let's see here. Ryan says, Jurassic World, 3 dino claw symbol. I like that. Jurassic World trip to Sanctuary. Dimetrodon here is going the Jurassic Park 3 route and just titling it Jurassic World 3. So let's see here. And Ryan also said Jurassic World 3, Attack of the Clones. I mean, that's not honestly that far from you joke, but like, it's not that. This whole thing has been Attack of the Clones. This entire movie series is Attack of the Clones. It literally is. That's a joke, but I love it. It actually, let's do it. I love Attack of the Clones. I'll say it right here. I love that movie. So let's tie it together with a big cohesive universe. And, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, this all happened. All the Star Wars stuff happened. And then, we here on Earth figured out cloning. And so it works. CJ Nightmare says Jurassic World 3 Chaos of the Carnotaurus. But yeah, it's kind of impossible. Everybody keeps talking about extinction. I think that's certainly possible, but I think it depends on, obviously it depends on what the movie is. I like that. Paleo Collector says when dinosaurs ruled the earth, Jurassic World. So what was that thing? So Colin had mentioned, I think it was Colin, right? He mentioned a long time ago. Let me see if I can find it here. It was the whole, like, what the movies were based off of. The quotes, right? No, it's not. It's going to be impossible to find that. I don't know. You guys probably remember what I'm talking about. It's so back in the day, it was like Jurassic World was based off one quote, Fallen Kingdom was based off another quote, and I think they said like Jurassic World 3 would be like women inherit the earth or something like that. I don't know, but maybe it would be dinosaurs inherit the earth or something along those lines, or like Jurassic World, when dinosaurs ruled, or something, or just dinosaurs rule. Jurassic World, dinosaurs rule. I like it. Honestly, I think it's a good one. And no, Jurassic Dave, not the Lost Park Jurassic World. Yeah, everybody has said that one for so long, and it's just become a joke at this point. Like, it's never gonna happen. I like that. But Heather, I like that title, but I don't think they would ever go that route, because that was like, didn't they use that tagline on Fallen Kingdom? I think life finds a way. Yeah. The new era in Jurassic World. Yeah, I see. Honestly, I know a few of them recently have been putting Jurassic World second. I don't think that they're going to do it. I think it's always going to be Jurassic World colon the new era, or a new era, or something like that. But yeah, so I like it. You guys got some good ideas here. Some good, solid ideas. You guys are killing it there. I have no idea. But really, the title will be coming, we can safely assume, this June. So stay tuned. But next up, let's see here. What do we got next? Oh, we got Camp Cretaceous. When is this happening? Do we know? No, we don't know. Camp Cretaceous. Let me look up the press release. I just want to go ahead. The press release back last year. I think that's the only real information we have. Now, this came from Netflix and their media center. It just says it will debut globally on Netflix in 2020 as part of an ongoing multi-year agreement with Netflix to produce original animated kids and family programming. So, set within the same timeline as a 2015 blockbuster film. It follows a group of 6 teenagers chosen for a once-in-a-lifetime experience at a new adventure camp on the opposite side of Isla Nublar. But when dinosaurs wreak havoc across the island, the campers are stranded. Unable to reach the outside world, they'll need to go from strangers to friends to family if they're going to survive. So, yeah. That is Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. And I don't believe it says anything about when it's coming, but I'm excited for that. If you guys are excited about Camp Cretaceous, let me know any of your thoughts in the live chat over there. But Camp Cretaceous is an interesting one, and I'm hoping that we get some sort of confirmation about it being canon. That would be great. We'll talk even more about that a little bit later, but I'm excited for it. I hope it's good. I'm hoping it's exciting. I hope it's well animated. I mean, that shot back there looks pretty brilliant, and you can barely tell a difference between that and the films. So I think that's pretty good. Do we think we know who this is going to be? Is this going to be Echo? Because it certainly does look like Echo. Yeah, I really think it does. I really think it will be Echo, and I hope it doesn't lead us to believe that, like, if it is Echo, that this show's going to take its own route and be considered soft canon, which, Colin recently deemed Jurassic World Live Tours soft canon, just due to the fact that he's giving the creators of the content the ability to go wherever they want, to not be hamstrung by the events of the films. So I feel like this might take that route with the soft canon thing, just because if this is Charlie, and is it? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was saying Echo. I think I meant Charlie. Charlie. My bad. You probably are all freaking out in the comments. But if it is Charlie, that does certainly create some problems for the canon, right? Like, because as far as we know, these dinosaurs, the raptors, they were in containment, right? and then they were let out at night of the escape, and then they were killed at night. So they were killed the same time. So this is a daytime shot here. If Charlie was out in the day, that is really not cohesive with the canon of the stories. But if this is another raptor, we have also never seen other raptors. Yeah, so there's something with Jurassic World Live Tour that could tie into this, I think, nicely. A few different things. I've still yet to receive some sort of confirmation on one of those things, but I think Camp Cretaceous could be pretty cool. The artwork looked really good, and as far as Netflix, DreamWorks Animation, they've produced some really good content with their different shows and everything. So I think the quality will be there, and they actually recently just did. Which I have not seen, and I don't actually know. Actually, let me see if I can look this up here. Fast and Furious, DreamWorks reviews. Let's look this up if there's any kind of information on if it's good or not. So here's a website. Let's see. It says stream it or skip it. This is from Decider.com. So recently, in the past, I think a week or so, Fast and Furious debuted a Netflix DreamWorks animation series, a spin-off of Fast and Furious, centered around Dominic Toretto's nephew or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like that's what it was. And it says here, if you like fast cars and playing video games with fast cars, you'll probably like Fast and Furious Spy Racers. If you like smart dialogue and well-done animation and some semblance of story, then you'll probably hate Fast and Furious Spy Racers. So, I don't know. The rest of the show is a disaster, it says. Uh-oh. That's not good. The backgrounds look fairly simplified. Uh-oh. Leading to that thrown together feeling. Uh-oh. Acting isn't high on the priority list. Uh-oh. So, yeah, the reviews are not all that good. It says skip it. So, that's not good. For a Universal property, DreamWorks Animation on Netflix, reviews are bad. So, I don't know. Hopefully Hopefully it doesn't tie into Camp Cretaceous. It's hard to say that they would treat Jurassic better than Fast and Furious. I don't really see the reason in their minds that they would. They're both highly profitable franchises. Their two biggest, outside of Cats, it's their two biggest franchises that they have. So I don't know. I don't know if they would treat Jurassic better. Maybe because Steven Spielberg's behind everything. Maybe they will. Maybe that's the case. I don't know, but could be. But it's interesting. I know Jurassic World Live Tour also kind of hinged on the fact that it was set right around the events of the Jurassic World breakout. It certainly strayed way away from that as the show went on. But this Netflix show is centered around the breakout. So how long can this series run? I don't know. But it's coming 2020, so that's very exciting. Something that we certainly have to look forward to. I'm very excited for it. I don't know if you guys are. I just really hope that it is canonical. If it's not in canon, it certainly gives you less incentive to view it. So hopefully there's some tie-ins with characters. It would be great, if it did take place a little bit before the breakout, and we got some cameos from somebody like Claire or Owen, or Dr. Kate Walker from the live tour. I think this show depending on the canon aspects, I think it gives prime real estate for Dr. Kate Walker to be expanded upon as a character in this franchise. She is an amazing character in the live tour, better than any of the most recent film characters. And I think, there's certainly some good weight there to that character. And I think she could be great in this show if that's the case, but I don't know. Probably not. I would say probably not if we're talking about the same franchise here. But, yeah, Mike Tobin says 2 different properties, 2 different mindsets. Yeah, but it's still the same team. The same team's behind it, So that's what makes me question how it's going to be. If this is the same team, like from top to bottom, you got Universal, you have DreamWorks, you have Netflix, you have, it makes me question if the quality will be the same level. I really hope not. I hope that they take Jurassic a little more seriously, but I don't know. Yeah, Ian, I know I messed up the Raptor name before. So let's see here. Trevorrow says the animation's beautiful. So, of course he does, though. Why he wouldn't say otherwise? So, I don't know. And like I said, that image there looks beautiful. That looks very good. And the animation that we saw in that little teaser looks beautiful. So, yeah, I think it could be great. But I think, canonically speaking, I hope it ties in. Let's see here. Let's move on to the next one. This one is going to be, where is it? Move. Oh, okay. It's frozen again. Cool. Very cool. All right, there we go. The expanded universe. Hey, I was just talking about that. I was just talking about the expanded universe. Canonically speaking, I think the expanded universe needs some work here, guys. And you know that. I know that, or I say that all the time. You're probably very tired of me saying this, but the expanded universe needs a lot of work. It does. It really does. And when we're talking about the canon, which I've said time and time again, we have 5 films. And Colin did mention at one point or another that the evolution of Claire is canon, but there's some quibbles in there with some of the storylines and stuff like that. So I don't know. And Jurassic World live tour. So those 2 images, wrong side for me. But those 2 things that you see up there, Jurassic World, the evolution of Claire, and Jurassic World live tour. Oh, and we'll forget about Camp Cretaceous for now. But those 2 things up there, you see, one is deemed canon, and then the other one is deemed soft canon. So I don't really know what we're doing here, but I think we need to. What I want to see from 2020 is a course correction as far as canon's concerned. I think a lot of the stuff that we talk about as far as the creators talking about what is and what isn't canon, it's derived from articles or social media. So what I want to see in 2020 is a course correction as far as discussion around canon and what is canon, what's not canon, and I want to have a clear outline of the canonical elements of the Jurassic franchise. So I think in this year, Universal really needs to sit down, figure out what works, what doesn't, and create a cohesive timeline of events or a timeline of stories, whatever you want it to be. And I think they really need to course correct here and make an expanded universe, something that really ties in, not have different levels of soft canon, hard canon, all this other stuff. I think they just need to have a universe, right? And I think it needs to be cohesive, and I think they need to work on that this year. 2020 is a good time to at least sit down and figure out what's going on. because I think they're confused right now. I think there's confusion among the fan base right now as to what works, what doesn't. I have people telling me that Jurassic Park the game is canon, which it's not. You know, Colin says that Jurassic World Evolution, the video game, is soft canon, but also says Jurassic World Live Tour is soft canon, so that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Um, I think they need to at least lay it out as far as what is canon and what's not canon, and put it on their website. Put it on JurassicWorld.com to at least let people know what's going on. Make a press release as to what's going on. What can we expect from the future of these stories? Because right now, like I just questioned, what is Camp Cretaceous? Is it going to be canon, or is it deemed soft canon, which entail means it doesn't matter to the ongoing story? That's what I want to know. So I think 2020 is a good time to at least sit down and figure out what's going on. And no, Mike Tobin, J.J. Abrams didn't course correct with Rise of Skywalker. There's actually a lot of tie-ins, man. Take a look. I actually did a whole live stream over on my YouTube channel. Not actually, it wasn't a live stream. It was the same thing as this, but I didn't do it live. I recorded it and then uploaded it. But I did a full thing on that, and also look up a few comments there. There's a guy named Ryan Donahoe right there, and he has a podcast called The Forcecast. Go listen to that, and you'll see some of those tie-ins, and that it wasn't necessarily course correction. So I'm not talking about that kind of course correction as far as like Jurassic World 3 needs to change everything. I just think we need to figure out what's going on with canon, and so I want to read this. Let's read this comment here. It says, sorry, I'm pronouncing your name wrong or not. Saika. It says soft canon has become a bothersome concept. I feel like even Jurassic Park, the game fans would prefer it have its own canon than it be vaguely canon. Yeah. So that's pretty much exactly what I'm trying to say here is like, it's vaguely canon. It's only canon in the terms of like, oh, in my head, it's in my own head canon. It's canon, but it's not really. So it's like that pick and choose aspect. It's like, I want this, but I don't want this because some things don't work. The T-Rex blew apart the doors of the visitor center, but in Jurassic World, that's not the case. So therefore, but I like the Bone Crusher roller coaster, so I'll take that. And I like the, I don't know, but like, so, but Mount Sibo came from there, and it's also in Fallen Kingdom, but it's not canon, guys. So yeah, I don't know. And let's see here. Ian here mentions the Dinosaur Protection Group website, and that falls in line with this expanded universe as well. It's something that they deem part of the story, but especially the websites, at any point they could just erase those, and that's a problem. I think, but I don't know. Who cares what I think? But yeah, I think a little course correction in the production side of things to see what's going on here. Should we believe that Claire was really into animals and dinosaurs when she started at Jurassic World, as told in The Evolution of Claire? Or was it just this book was made because we needed a reason for everybody to believe why she is the way she is in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? Which is fine, and I think that's great, but, I don't know. But, yeah, I hope 2020 brings us something cool as far as canon's concerned. And certainly with Camp Cretaceous, I'd love to know if it's canon or not, and hopefully we'll find that out soon. And Mike, yeah, Clayton breaks it down very well, but yeah, we've broken it down many times here, and it doesn't. There is no canon. The canon is the movies. That's it. That's all. And that book, if you want to consider that. But that's it. There is no other canon. That's the breakdown. That's it. They need to make a live action series for Netflix. If they did a live action series, they would do it for their own network. I think it's called Peacock. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think so. I don't think it's I don't you know Jurassic is not treated as the Star Wars of Universal's franchises, so I don't know. But let's move on here to the next one. I know you guys are all livid about this as well. So the next one here, human figures. Do you guys want these? Because I do. I want them. I you see there, you see Franklin right there. We need that. We need that. We need others. Um, in the recent year, in the past year, well, let's see. When was the last human figure that we got? I don't think we got any Dino Rivals humans, did we? I think they repacked some maybe, but I don't even know if they did that. Of course, we got John Hammond recently, but he was kind of like his own thing. So, and they didn't really trust John Hammond either to sell anything because they made it a exclusive figure at San Diego Comic-Con, and then they put him on a website, and then they also have him in the parks for like $45. Well, that's crazy. But human figures need to be more of a staple in the Jurassic toy line. And the way I put it is, and even I think Aaron actually discussed it on our recent episode, the Jurassic Wire. He I think he put it as like the story or something like the stories that we tell when we're playing with these dinosaurs. It really revolves around the humans. And at least when I was young, you have these human figures and you use them to tell a story as you're playing. And then the dinosaurs kind of interact with that story. But it's really about the human figures. So you can't really do much with the dinosaurs without the humans, right? Am I seeing this wrong? I think you really need the humans to play, to interact, because otherwise it's just dinosaurs fighting dinosaurs. That can become tiresome. There's really no story surrounding that type of play for kids. And I think from that side of things, like the people that are creating these might be into creating human figures, but it's really deemed by the sales and stuff like that. So it's kind of a problem for us, because if the sales aren't there or if they weren't there, then they're probably not going to make them. But I think it depended on, what Universal was telling them. Like, look, you guys need to make 95 different Owen figures and like 2 Claires or 1 Claire or whatever it was, 2 Claires, and then just some other random stuff that nobody really wants. And then it didn't sell, right? So those things stay on the pegs for a long period of time. And then they look at those numbers and they say, it's not really working out for the human figures. So we're not going to really do those in 2018 or 2019, I'm sorry. But I think that's the problem, is that they kind of oversaturated it with certain figures and stuff like that. If they branched out and did more like around like side characters or unique characters, honestly, I don't even want human figures from the movies. Like, I want you to fill out those human figures. Certainly give us the ones that we want, like from the movies, but I think you need to create more unique ones. From the original toy lines, we had stuff like Evil Raiders. What were the other ones? I don't even remember what they were called, but you had really unique ones like Jaws Jackson, or Harpoon Harrison, like these really unique names. You don't have anything like that from the new lines. So I think Mattel really needs to like step out on a limb here and create some figures that are really unique, great designs, not just like a dude in like a vest and like, with like a gun and that's it. It really needs to be something unique and cool. Something that like kids today can take and play with and create their own stories centered around the human figures, and then use the dinosaurs to interact with them, because that's the way we always did it as kids. Like I said, we made stories. It was always about my human like figures trying to get to safety or trying to capture like literally these stories from the movies. But like, that they've turned into movies today. So that's pretty cool. Like the volcano stuff. Like you always had a story centered around volcanoes. So I hope that human figures um see the light of day in 2020. I really hope they give it the chance that we all want them to. Um, yeah, I would love to see Franklin. I would love to see more stuff from the original movie. I would love to see them branch off of the original movie and do other movies too. Like honestly, I'm looking at my toys over there. I have um, Dieter Stark, which looked nothing like the movie version. He's awesome. Such an awesome figure from Kenner. I have the Roland Tembo, which looked nothing like the character from the movie. But it's awesome. Sorry for the coughs. I'm sick. Did I say that? Um, I have those figures, and I have Harpoon Harrison, and I have Jaws Jackson and stuff like that, and they're so cool. They're like the coolest figures that you could own, and I think they need to take that step and kind of go into stuff like that. Let's see here. What are you guys saying? Yeah, Jurassic Dave mentioned Hammond. Yeah, we got Hammond, but like I said, that was kind of like a side thing. It was like it really didn't matter. And Zia, but that was a long time ago. Zia was still in 2018. And there's been rumors about Franklin for ages now. Like he showed up 2000. I think it was the 2018 2018 San Diego Comic-Con, I believe. So after Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom came out, like a month after, they showcased that figure, and then never really anything since then. And hasn't really been featured in any shows or anything like that. And I think, there's been rumors, and like somebody who it just disappeared. Where did it go? Ian said yes. Where is Franklin? They said he'd be coming around fall of this year. 2019. Yeah, I mean that's like I said, that's been the rumor. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's ever going to come out, but maybe he will. I hope so, because look at that thing. It looks great. It looks awesome. I would love to have that. That's a unique one. I think it's unique enough. It's something from the movie that is pretty cool, and it gives you the chance to tell some stories. Mike says kids prefer dinosaurs over humans. I think that's just a blanketed statement that's not exactly true. Dinosaurs are cool, but look, they've given us 1,000 dinosaurs already. Kids don't care about 1,000 dinosaurs. Adults do. Adults are the only ones who can get these things time and time again, release wave after wave, repaint after repaint. Enough of the repaints. Give us something new, a human figure. Something, even if you have to package it with a repaint. Give us that repaint, but give us a random character, not necessarily the story pack, because I think we got 3 story packs, right? We got Claire and the Gyrosphere. We got, I think, Owen and Blue. And then we got the Stiggy and the Mercenary guy. So those are like those bigger sets. I'm not talking about that. I want literally like a tack pack size, like the small ones. Sorry, I just hit my table. The small thing there with just like a human and then a dinosaur, and that's it. And I think that would help sell these things and help make it worthwhile. People really want these figures. And like I said, it's these dinosaurs mean nothing without prey, without something that the dinosaurs can go after. What are these movies about? They're about humans interacting with dinosaurs, not just dinosaurs on dinosaurs on dinosaurs on dinosaurs. And we need vehicles and we need humans. And I think that's where they've kind of gone wrong here in these most recent waves. And as far as last Comic-Con, they announced like something like 17 new species or something. So they haven't talked about humans still. So, yeah, and Jurassic Dave says playsets and vehicles too. Yeah. Yeah, and Paleo Collector says if they don't sell well in regular storage, just make them exclusive to Amazon or Entertainment Earth. That's fine. yeah, I mean that's fine. I'm okay with that, but I would certainly like them in stores as well. Um, but yeah, Roland Tembo should be a figure. Yeah, Jurassic Dave. You're literally. I'm not. I haven't been reading your comments, but you're literally saying the exact same thing that I've been saying. So I like that. We're on the same wavelength here. Um, but yeah, I think like the two packs, and I think like include it with a little set. Like a little play set. Ray here mentions we need standard Tim and an electrified Tim. Um, I think like if you did Tim with like an electric fence or something that he can climb or something he can interact with from the movie, or a kitchen, like a little kitchen set or something. We need that Donald Gennaro with the bathroom. I've joked about that for ages now, but we need that. A breakable bathroom set it would be iconic. We would all rush out to buy that as quickly as any of these other toys. So I think that needs to happen. Also, gotta say, I don't like this. I don't like this one. Um, it's just not really. It's not really all that good to me. I think it's too tall, and I think the size is too big. This is the Amber collection here, guys. I don't know if you have this one. It was a GameStop exclusive. So we're talking about exclusives here. This is GameStop, and I think GameStop's like folding. So like, who even knows what's going on there? But this is Ian Malcolm. Doesn't really look like him. The likeness is just not there. Jeff Goldblum must be impossible to capture a likeness because none of the figures ever look like Jeff Goldblum. They look like a guy that sort of looks like Jeff Goldblum, but just not him. So these Amber collections are a bit taller. They're like 6.5 inches, I believe, instead of 3 3/4. So the other ones are just like literally like this small. So this is the Black Series Star Wars figures right here, and you can see. How do I turn this? There we go. You can see how much taller he is. He's like a good few somethings centimeters. I don't know, not inches, but maybe an inch taller, almost. I think these are supposed to be 6 inch, so maybe it's a half an inch. But this is a great size. I think this is a great size. Plus the detail, the everything about these Black Series, it's a little bit better than this one. So, and I don't know why this is a thing. Why is this articulation a thing? Why does he need to bend? I don't understand that. I just don't get it. But if I can reach it, the Velociraptor, I think, is outstanding. Sorry if I'm hitting the mic or whatever, but the Velociraptor is pretty darn good. Whereas, yeah, this thing is awesome. Now I know it's like the blue. It's literally just blue with a old school raptor painted on it, but everything about this figure is phenomenal. I think the size is perfect on this, and even when you line it up against the, sorry, oh, my background's like really messing up here. But even when you line it up against this, I still think this works, scale wise. So, I just love this figure so much. It's so awesome. They did phenomenal work on this dinosaur. So I'm excited to get Charlie. Like, I need Charlie right away. Is it Charlie? now I'm questioning what one's released. But yeah, I need that Charlie one. Is it real? I don't even know. But phenomenal. I love this thing so much. It's like, it's a true collector's item. When the other one is absolutely not a collector's item. So, and yeah, Jurassic Dave says Dennis Nedry and the Dilophosaurus were teased. They were teased at San Diego Comic-Con, and that will be hopefully great. But again, I'm not really loving the size of the humans. So that's a shame. And now certainly Ian Malcolm is a tall guy. He's a tall dude, tall drink of water. But that's just, and he has a drink of water in his hand too. But he's just a little too big. So hopefully the other ones are a little bit lean, like tall, like less tall. So we'll see. But I doubt they'll change the scale at this point. But and get rid of that torso articulation it just looks goofy and it's unneeded and it does.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
I wasn't talking to you, Siri. She's always interrupting. Um, yeah, Charlie is real. Okay. Um, yeah, I saw it. I saw it floating around. But I didn't know. I haven't looked into it to be honest because of the holidays and everything. But yeah, I think we need more humans is what it comes down to. So Ryson is again hitting me with some more money there. What is going on, dude? Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Um, but yeah, the Amber collection is interesting. I think that's like a little different than the rest of the stuff. The actual doing this because you guys are awesome. Well, I really appreciate that, dude. That's so cool. That's I appreciate you doing what you're doing. That's really awesome. But I think the Amber collection is a little different than the standard line. I think they could continue to create these 6.5-inch figures for Amber. What is it? It's Amber collection, right? Amber. I don't know. Whatever. Um, they can keep making those, but they really need to focus on making some from the main 3 3/4 inch figures, because that's where the storytelling really lies for kids. I think when you're analyzing it from a collector standpoint and from an adult standpoint, that's really what needs to happen. Um, Godzilla Rex 3 here says, I am from Latin America and I can understand you. It's awesome and I love it. Awesome. I'm glad you can understand it. Um, thanks for tuning in. I don't know. We're probably almost done here. I think we're on the last one. So why don't we move on to if it's probably frozen. Yep, of course it's I don't know why this keeps happening. Um, yes, this is the last one for 2020. I think we need to see that trailer, and I think it's certainly feasible. Come November, December, somewhere around that time. I think it would be great to see this year, 2020, the Jurassic World 3 trailer, or at least a teaser trailer. So, it's certainly feasible, and it's happened. So it's happened before. So I think I think it's definitely coming. I definitely think it'll be here. So either around Thanksgiving or the beginning of December, like early December, so that way whatever big movies are in the theaters, which I don't even know if there are any big theater movies next to December, because Star Wars isn't happening yet, and Avatar is not happening yet. So I don't know what's happening in December 2020, but I think it's certainly possible that it could be lined up for early December to hit in theaters with whatever big movies are coming out at the end of this year. This year, 2020. My God. So yeah, I think this will be interesting, and I'm not asking for too much. I think, oh, there goes the raptor. I would just be perfectly fine with the teaser trailer. Just something to give us, even like I said last time around with Fallen Kingdom, we got that behind the scenes kind of featurette thing, and then the trailer. So I think we'll hopefully we'll get the same kind of thing, because I don't know. I think right now, Colin Trevorrow is gaining some goodwill here with the fan base and with just film community in general. I think he kind of fell off with a lot of people in the film community, and in some circles of the fandom. Um, for people not really loving Jurassic World, or film critics just kind of piling on for some reason. But I think once Battle at Big Rock came out and people saw how incredible that was, I think there's going to be some goodwill here moving forward to Jurassic World 3, and I'm excited to see what he does for this movie. But I think he'll want to continue that like goodwill thing and just kind of like let people have some things to kind of get the hype going for this movie, and I think he'll want to stay on top of that, like riding that train. You know what I mean? So I think we'll probably get some good stuff at the end of this year as far as behind the scenes featurettes and teaser trailers or whatever. So I am excited for 2020. I think we're gonna get a lot of stuff. and J Park Lover says Super Bowl, but Super Bowl 2021. So that's a far way away from here. Um, but yeah, sorry, I'm like getting really stuffy now since I've been doing this for like over an hour now. But yeah, so this is it. This is it. This is the end, guys. Get your final comments in here before we get out of here. I appreciate everybody, by the way, sticking it out. For a lot of you have been here this whole hour, and for Ryson for sending over that money, the super chat feature. So that's awesome. Thank you. Goes a long way to help produce this show. This show takes a lot to produce week after week, and we really appreciate it. But yeah, so let me cue up some music here while we're heading out here, so that way we have something to jam out to while we're going. But yeah, so 2020, it's gonna be a big year. It's gonna be a big year for Jurassic. We got production, we got titles coming, we got trailers. Hopefully, the toy line's gonna be incredible this year. Of course, Jurassic World Live Tour is still happening. It's still going on around the country. It's gonna be happening all throughout 2020, most likely going well into 2021 as well. We should be seeing Jurassic World, the exhibition, continue across this year. The Camp Cretaceous again, that's going to be out there. But yeah, there's a lot to look forward to, I think, for Jurassic fans. 2019 was pretty insane when you think about it. Like all the stuff that we got for Jurassic in 2019. I think it's going to be crazy. The stuff that we're going to get here for 2020. I'm hoping that it's surprising, because we were certainly surprised with all the stuff that we got last year. Like Battle at Big Rock is not anything that we ever expected, to get. We got, the word on that back at New York Toy Fair, which was in, I think, February of 2019. So that was the first time we ever heard about this, and also got some wind about the Netflix show. But that really wasn't privy all that much back then. But we got that word early in last year, so who knows? Maybe there's some short films on the horizon. I don't know. I'm not saying so, but I think that would be great. Imagine if there was more stuff like that this year. This could be huge. This could be a big year. So, all the stuff we actually have to look forward to, I think there's plenty. And plus, honestly, we never really got any kind of confirmation on Michael Giacchino for this film. And by this time, last time around, with Fallen Kingdom, we already had that confirmation. So hopefully we get that sometime soon. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody in the chat room sticking around this whole time. It's been awesome. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, why don't we go ahead and head off here.